Welcome back to the Woman Experience. I am so glad you're here, that you've joined us today. Today, we have an amazing guest, but before I introduce her, I want to say a huge thank you to everyone that is liking, subscribing, sharing our videos. Subscribing is very easy. Just go to the subscription button. You'll see it on YouTube. Like, it tells the algorithm that we're onto something amazing. So just like, share, subscribe to your women, to your nieces, sisters, and everybody who wants to see how other people have overcome their challenges. So my name is Edith Karimi, and I am so glad you've joined me today. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for everyone who has written to us. We see your comments, we like them, and even if we haven't replied, we will reply. So today I'm joined by a powerful guest. Someone I met, the last time I met her was in high school. That is 20-something years ago, but I've been following her journey sometimes on Facebook. I'll let her introduce herself, and I promise you, her testimony, her words of encouragement, her inspiration, her wisdom will impact someone's life. Muthoni, karibu.
Asante sana.
We met how many years ago?
Hey, 26 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah. In fact, 27.
27 years.
Yeah, 1999.
And that tells you how old we are. Eh?
Right.
But please tell us your name, introduce yourself to the audience, and then we can start.
Okay. My name is Muthoni Muchina. I am born again. I love Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a teacher by profession.
Mwalimu.
Yes. I teach at Kerwara Boys High School in Murang'a. I'm also an author. I've written some books. I also love counseling students.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's about it. Mm-hmm. I grew up in a small village.
Yes. Tell us the
called
village.
Kaharo. Kaharo village.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to be representing Kaharo.
And Kaharo is famous. It's always in the news for some reason.
Oh my God. I think there's another Kaharo, but the one I'm from, it's not very known.
Uh-huh.
It's called Kaharo village in Ngararia, Kandara constituency, Murang'a County.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up there. My parents were teachers.
So you are a teacher whose parents were teachers?
In fact, most of my relatives are teachers.
Oh, it's a family thing.
It's a family thing.
Yeah.
And I think a bit of my former years were spent there. Mm-hmm. But then I was taken to boarding school at a very young age.
No. You are taking us too far, Muthoni.
Yeah.
You unakimbia sana, and me, I want to get your story, because we were having a conversation before this shoot that a lot of the things that happened to us when we were growing up imprinted something. It's now we are trying to see what did that mean for me.
True.
So you grew up in Kaharo.
Yeah.
Your parents are teachers.
Yeah.
And now, what decision compelled your mom and dad to take you to boarding school, and where was that boarding school?
Okay. First of all, in the village I was in, the girls there, or rather the attitude about girls being child makers. That is what, that was the framing, the tradition there.
You get pregnant?
You get pregnant, In fact, for my dad to take us to school, he was highly criticized.
What?
Yeah. I'm a firstborn. And then our secondborn is also a girl. So, and then he took us to a boarding school. So, I hear there was a lot of criticism following that. Why would you take time to invest in girls?
And that's not even a long time ago. It's the 90s.
Yes. Yeah. Why would you take time? Why would you waste your money educating girls who bring you children in your homestead, So I think, and I thank God for my dad, because he went against the grain. Yeah, even believing that a girl child is worth, investing in. So it was a very ignorant, background, a lot of witchcraft, I must say. Even female circumcision.
Even at the time?
Yes. Actually, I'm told that when I was 8 days old, my dad's relatives came for me to be circumcised.
What are you telling me?
Yeah. True story. 8 days old. So my mom, who got married at a very young age, in fact started hardening at that point, because my dad is this quiet, non-confrontational person. So he didn't want to offend them. But you see what that would have meant. So my mom had to get her clothes out. I thank God for her. And, you know, to stand against that decision. And in fact, it made her very infamous in the village.
Wow.
Yeah, from that point on, because she said that will not happen. It cannot happen to my daughter.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think she started setting pace when we were very young. We didn't even know. Yeah, in fact, I have aunts of mine who are cousins to my dad, younger than me, who went through that.
So it was just God that you didn't go through the car. And why I'm so surprised, because you would think that in the 90s that practice was still, you know,
no, it was
not
very much
happening
alive
anymore.
Yeah.
So now they decide to take you to house school, to primary boarding school. Where was that?
Kirinyaga, St. Agnes. I must say I had a very hard time.
Umetoka village.
Oh my God.
St. Agnes, your first days.
You know, the first shocker was that my classmates were from town. You know, they can speak Swahili.
You couldn't?
I couldn't.
What?
I couldn't. Oh my God. And you know, there's a sister who kept embarrassing me for that. And she would say, you and a girl called Nyakenyu, you're the people that speak Kikuyu here. You know, it was so hard to get used to that. I remember the first thing we were taught is how to make our beds. The very first day we arrived there. And it really shaped, even today, no matter how late I am for an appointment, I have to make my bed.
You have to make your bed.
I have to make my bed. And then the other thing was that I was bedwetting. So I've gone, I have...
because now, how old are you now?
When I was 8 years. In fact, I just turned 8 years. Yeah. In fact, this is when I realized that was very young. Yeah, to boarding school. And then you know, my mom was a teacher. So she would carry us along. She would make porridge for us or whatever breakfast, then take us to school. We didn't have responsibilities like preparing ourselves to go to school or anything like that. So all of a sudden, I'm responsible for taking out my, you know, my beddings. So I really got it rough because I remember they were too heavy for me. So I used to pull them. Yeah, I used to, even before I knew that they are supposed to be taken out. It took a long time because I would just wet the bed then leave. Yeah. So by the time we were being beaten for leaving you know, wet beddings, it took a toll on me because I would pull them through the whatever, and then there were some hedges there and the sengenge.
Yes.
So they would pull at it. Or they would pull at them until they got torn. And it was so hard to get used to. And then all of a sudden you have a locker. You're responsible for keeping your things. So me, within like first term, I didn't have shoes.
Oh, you're stolen.
Yeah, before then, I had 3 butter prefect pairs. You know, I didn't have shoes. I didn't have, you know, rubber shoes. I didn't have slippers.
Yes.
In fact, I was punished for that. So I remember walking barefoot. I remember entering, you know, the toilets.
Oh my God.
Full of urine, barefoot. Imagine. That was the punishment.
So now because I have a 9-year-old son, and I can imagine that sense of responsibility. But also, despite the pain, there's some good. Now you make your bed perfectly.
Yeah. Right? And I'm very disciplined. Yeah. I don't just do things. There's always that cafe. Hey, we were traumatized. Like we were, I don't know, shaped to do good and to do the right thing.
It was a Catholic school, I would imagine.
It was a Catholic school.
Yeah.
Well, right now I do appreciate, at least I know how to speak English, you know.
Also now you get in, you learn that there's Kiswahili.
There's Kiswahili. Actually, Kiswahili was only one day. English was throughout.
Yes.
Kiswahili, I think, was for Wednesdays alone. If you speak any other language, you carry a monto around.
I remember the monto.
Yeah. So for me, it was very hard And then that took a toll on my performance. Because back in the village, I was like a celeb. You know, I was always number 1, 2, 3 there. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, I'm in this new culture where I seem to be the last. I don't know. I don't know how to speak. I thought I knew how to speak.
Yeah.
Back in the village, I was among the special students because we had shoes.
Yes.
Most of our schoolmates at the village didn't have shoes. So sometimes we would even take off our shoes to gain acceptance. You know, we would hide them so that...
I've had that.
At least,
so that you look like the others.
Yeah, at least we gain acceptance. They can play with us.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, my life shifted. And I don't think my parents ever really realized
the trauma.
The trauma I went through.
Because to them, this was now the way out of this culture, negative culture. And it's funny right now, we are struggling to have our children learn our native language, which is so rich. So that they when they go back home or just to have that language, because it also carries a lot. But you know, it was a source of shame that you don't know Kiswahili.
Yes, it was. In fact, it really made me hate Kikuyu.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because it was, you see, I was being punished for speaking Kikuyu.
Yes.
So the day now I learned Swahili and English,
you decided.
Actually, all the way to campus, people never knew I was a Kikuyu. I would always speak in English.
Because now it's the proper way to be.
Exactly. And in fact, when back in the village, even right now, I don't have like friends. You know? I was always like an outcast because you go there for 2 weeks, you're back to school.
You're now different.
I'm very different.
You don't speak like us anymore.
First of all, you are a daughter of teachers. You have a stone house. That was a big deal back in the village.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a very big deal. You're the only people with a TV set, you know. And then you had shoes. That was a big thing as well. And then you're off to boarding school. Like, who are you even?
And it's a very funny duality. On the one hand, you are the epitome of success. But inside, you know how that boarding life is.
Exactly. In fact, later on, when we told our parents, they couldn't believe it. Because as far as they were concerned, they gave us the right foundation, you know. Well, in retrospect, when I look back, I kind of appreciate. But then when I remember what it costed me, because... I started receiving beatings on a daily basis.
Wow.
For losing my clothes, for losing my shoes, for bedwetting. I remember that very well. And then we were really shamed for wetting the bed. At some point, we were told to take our mattresses to the dining hall. Everyone was wetting the bed. And then we were beaten mercilessly.
Oh, yeah.
That thing, it affected me. So nikaanza kuanguka naturally. My academics, I started tailing. That was another hell. Because we used to be beaten. We had this thing called mlolongo. So you're given, like, in our days we did ACM. So naambiwa pass mark ya ACM is 28 out of 30.
Tell people what ACM means.
ACM means art, craft and music.
Yes.
So if you're given the pass mark to be 28 over 30, you get 19. So that means 9 cases. Then mlolongo was that all teachers are there.
I remember.
So unaenda per teacher.
Oh, we were beaten.
And every teacher had their own beating style. So
it was like a show of beating.
Yes. In fact,
because I remember it was like this one, like, you know, with all styles.
And
millennials, you were traumatized.
When I remember, you know, I was a child, and then I remember those sisters calling me names. Chocho, Chocho, and Chocho is grandmother. And I'm like, wait. By the way, it's only now that we realize that was wrong. But back then, we were so used to it, you know. And but anyway, when I reached class 6 in 1996.
So by this time now, 6, you have become...
I've become hardened.
Yes.
In fact, I've become hardened. And you know, there was this culture, if you are dirty, you are washed in public. By the other students and by the nuns. And it was so bad. So, but now something happened. My sister joined me. And I'm a firstborn. So I had this responsibility that weighs on firstborn daughters. I had to take care of her. So I had to step up my game. Yeah, I used to do the duty for, I used to bathe her. I don't know if she remembers that.
Tell to the camera.
I used to bathe her. Imagine. I used to bathe her.
Because now you don't want her to go through.
Yes. I don't want her to go through what I went through. So I would bathe her. Actually, she was among the cleanest in her class.
Wow.
Whereas when it was me, I was among the dirtiest. Because I didn't know how to do anything. You know, I remember putting, clothes in a bucket. Then nikachukua the bar of soap. Nikapaka hivi nikarudisha. And I hung. I didn't know how to wash clothes before that. So anyway, when my sister came, it's like I took on this protective whatever. And from there, even my performance, my esteem shot up. Then before then, I used to fail terribly in mathematics. Right now, I'm a maths teacher. So that tells you the transformation. So something happened in the year 1997, December. My dad was a maths teacher. So he asked me this question, time. And then I answered, I think I answered in Swahili or Kikuyu. The way you can say like 2 p.m, useme ni saa mbili. Yeah? I got the beating of my life.
Oh. From your father?
From my dad. Because he couldn't comprehend. I'm making students pass in mathematics.
And here my daughter is failing.
So I think that beating ilinifungua. I was so determined I'll never get such a beating again. When I went back to school, nikaanza kuscore. By the time I'm finishing class 8, I was among the best mathematics students. Yeah. To the point that at some point we didn't have a teacher. So we'd be given these quizzes. I would finish and then I would be called to be among those people who are marking.
Wow.
And that lifted, I think, shot my self-esteem very high. Very high. Yeah.
So like I'm actually bright. And
I regained the person I had lost before. Yeah.
So now you leave your sister.
Yes.
And you go to high school.
I go to high school. Kabare Girls. Initially, I didn't want to go there because it was like a repeat of St. Agnes. Most people in St. Agnes used to be called Kabare Girls. I didn't want anything that reminded me of St. Agnes. So, but when I went there, my mom convinced me it's a good school. It was. However, I must say the trauma of my suppressed personality. Because I always thought I'm this quiet. I was very quiet, very shy. But I came to realize in my adulthood, that was not my true personality. It had just been suppressed. For many years. So I went to high school. High school life for me was uneventful. In fact, I never went for a single trip.
You are telling me I don't recall.
Geography in Form 4. We went for a geography
trip. So you just cruised, and maybe perhaps without knowing, you are just not used to. There's not so much focus on me. Here I can breathe a little.
That is it. In fact, I never knew I could participate in anything. Only years later as a teacher, I took students for music, whatever.
That's something that you never went to.
Yeah, I was enjoying it as a teacher now. And I'm like, this is what I missed in high school. Imagine that. But anyway, all is well. At least I passed with a B. Proceeded to University of Nairobi, where I got another shocker. For me, I studied very early. I finished my Form 4 at 16.
Yes, I remember you were young.
Even Form 1 tukiingia, people were making fun of me. Ati uko 13, Kai, 13. And even that one became now another reason for me to feel. Looking back is when it was an advantage. But back then it didn't feel like it didn't feel like an advantage. Because I remember I started my period in Form 2. And then the girls that we had been with in primary, they made fun of me the whole day.
Because now to them you are young.
In St. Agnes we used to buy pads so many niliishi na ile tu moja nilibuy.
You never used it.
I've never used. So the day I started, it was a big deal. And then I have a small bust. So one day I put papers.
Hold on.
I just took some papers, scrambled
We need
them.
to hear this
Because
thing.
I was like, "Hi, why are they making
belong.
fun of me?" I wanted to belong. I wanted to look like everyone else.
Oh my.
You know. So nikaeka some papers. It was very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But I
But
felt,
I'm
hey,
now like you.
I have
Yes.
boobs.
Yeah.
And it took me very long to accept myself. It took me very long because I'd been used to being shamed, you know. So even when I went to campus,
so now you've finished, you've gotten a B, you're now in the University of Nairobi?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I went to there, my mom, before then I had never had a boyfriend. I had even those experiences, I never had that ever.
Yeah, of like a high school crush.
In fact, I had never even been approached by a boy.
No, you've gone to university.
Yeah, I've gone to university. Then my mama had told me, you know, men are very dangerous. They sleep with you and then they go around saying how cheap you are.
Yeah.
So I went there determined that will not be me. So now I was always on the defensive. I remember there was this guy who approached me in there was this washing area. So he said, hi. He started, Miss G is who? His room is where? Oh, God. I gave him a lecture of his life.
Do you know who you're talking to?
I told him, wait, why are you telling me your room number? Listen, I am not one of those girls. One of those cheap girls you're used to.
He got the sermon of his life.
So he started saying, hey, no, you know, there are many things you can do in a room. You can take coffee. I'm like, wait. I'm not one of those girls you're used to. And he was a fourth year. So there were girls around in that. So when he left, he was very embarrassed. So for the other girls, I was like a heroine. And then that story traveled throughout the campus. Yes. Yeah. It traveled throughout the campus. That one. Not a joke. Not.
So you, in campus, you
anyone who came my way would get a thrashing of a lifetime.
What?
Yeah.
You with your now small body. You are now.
And then now, I remember trying to fit in. That one was a bit confusing for me. Because you see now, I've been in boarding my whole life. I've not been around men or I'd never even noticed, you know, anything about my body or the way you think, oh, I'm beautiful. Until one woman came to sell us clothes. Then she sold me this dress, which niliogopa kuvaa because nilikuwa naona ni kafupi. Then she said, wewe na vile uko na miguu mizuri sijui unaogopa nini? And then I said, what? Hey, uko na miguu poa sana. Hey, what? I realized, oh, so I'm beautiful.
Oh my God.
So I have good legs. Oh my God. That was the beginning. And then somebody had said, what a beautiful smile I had. Nikaanza sasa kufeel.
Isn't it funny how we never think of ourselves with any amazing quality?
Imagine, until someone else. So I started wearing very short things. I was never comfortable. I have to say that. But I wanted to fit in.
To feel,
I started feeling, I'm also, but now you see, it brings the wrong attention. Because deep down, I'm this principled girl going to heaven, saving myself for marriage. But I'm in a very short skirt. You see, those are two conflicting. Yeah, so I think it was a very confusing time for me. Because on one side, I want to belong. I want to look good like everybody else. And on the other side, it's like I'm losing myself, you know. But then with time, I joined modeling.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I you know, I wanted to feel beautiful.
Yeah.
So, you know, I joined modeling. But then I was in CU. No.
The contradiction.
So there was
you can model while in CU.
That was not the... You see the nature of modeling alone is a lot of exposure.
The behind the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scenes. So nobody will really trust that you are in modeling, but you are, you know, you are good. I was a virgin But now I'm wearing, you know, skirts up to here. So who are you convincing? And then you're telling us that you're modeling. Yeah. And then you want to convince us you're born again.
Yes.
You see, but I knew who I was. So, but your modeling didn't take me so far.
Yeah.
I think nilifanya tu hapo campus. After that, didn't go far.
And maybe there was something there. It's just that now there was no someone showing the Christian side of, you can model and still keep your values.
And still keep your values, yeah. You know, there is a time I went for modeling in Chiromo campus. So we were there. We were trained the whole day. Then for me, I'd never spent a day, you know, a night outside my house. By the way, I've never been to a disco ever in my life. Yes, I'm 40 now. I've never. The closest I came to.
What are you telling?
Was
even
the freshers bash. Freshers bash.
Yeah.
My roommates really persuaded me. Twende. Hakuna kitu itafanyika hata uta dance. Twende. Finally, I gave in. Vile nilienda tu kukaa hivi chini, I had the Holy Spirit. You're in the wrong place.
Yeah.
So hata sikukaa
chini.
So
you never...
I left.
Oh my God, we live different lives. Because for me, campus, I really enjoyed.
I've never.
But that's also now the beauty of when we hear such stories, because these young girls who are in that conflicting stage where they feel I should be doing this, or you know, how do I have responsible fun? Because also for me, going to those places, I mean, it never brought me much joy. There's an emptiness.
Yes, I know.
But it's interesting that you've never
I've never gone. That was the closest I came to. The closest. Niliingia tu hivi, nikienda kukaa, I had a literal voice. Yeah. You are in the wrong place.
What?
Yes. Nikaamka immediately and I left. And I didn't tell anyone.
And that was it for 4 years?
That was it. And then, no, I was telling you about that modeling. I went to Chiromo. After to model, then we were told to go to some room. And that room had men.
Oh.
And then, so tukaonyeshwa mali tutalala. Do you know me si kulala? I was like,
so the men are there waiting.
The men that I was told use people and then they dump them here, there. But they imagine nothing happened to us. Yeah. But I was so afraid for myself. That is now, when I saw that side of modeling, nikasema never again. Never again. Even when I tried it later after campus, I didn't go far.
A whole about how we are taught men are unsafe. Men so sometimes there's no balance of men are good, men are part of our lives, we can be responsible, but like our time it was
I was terrified
away.
I was terrified of men. I remember once, you know, going to get a vehicle to go home. I peeped inside, I saw men. I stayed back. Sikuingia.
That was it.
That was it. I was terrified.
Of men.
Yeah,
so
I was very terrified.
Campus now?
Yeah.
You are doing, what are you doing in
I was doing Bachelor of Education Arts. Though in campus I also met a guy.
Yeah.
I remember when I first went there, I joined campus at 18. So I wanted to finish my campus at 22, go back for masters by 25, get PhD. I was very ambitious. Yeah, then I was like, at now 28, I'll consider having a man or a boyfriend or whatever. Yeah. But that didn't happen like that. There was this guy who had been studying me. I didn't know.
And maybe stories have also reached him.
Stories were all over campus that huyu ni moto wa kuotea na hakuna mtu anakubali.
Yes.
You know? So this guy alikuwa na appear, disappear. And then for me, I used to think like being someone's girlfriend, it's like an official
marriage.
Asking for, you know, you ask formally, will you be my girlfriend? Then from there now we know. I didn't know at inaanzanga casually, you become
it
friends.
Happens very gradual.
Then you start missing the other person. Then you start, you know. So that's how it started. I didn't know when I became his girlfriend. And he was a Muslim. Yeah.
This gets interesting.
Yeah,
so very. Now this girl is going to see you.
Exactly.
She's a Christian. You meet a Muslim.
I meet a Muslim. My first ever boyfriend.
A Muslim.
A Muslim.
And this time you're friends.
Yeah.
you're not, it's not even okay because he's just a friend to you.
Actually, I didn't know he was my boyfriend until people started gossiping about it.
Yes.
Yeah, who's Niwasi?
Yeah.
What is she doing with her?
Yes.
A Muslim. And then, unfortunately, around that time, there were very many CU girls who are out of the blue. They fall pregnant. They do, you know. So it's like now people are counting days. Okay. This will be the next one.
Yeah.
And then the guys who had tried me were now coming to him. Have you, you know?
Yeah.
And I remember reading Psalms, the book of Psalms. Oh my God, it's full of prayers. I used to pray very hard prayers because nilikuwa naona everyone is waiting for me niingie kwa mtego. You know. But I also thank God because much as my boyfriend was Muslim, when I look back, it's like God used him in a very interesting way to shield me.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, to shield me because he was also very strict, you know. You know, Muslims, they are very strict.
Oh, so in a weird way, you pour in your own bubble.
Yes. So, because for me, I was very clear in my mind. I cannot sleep with someone unless they are my husband. That was me from a very young age. I had made that decision when I was a young girl, you know, and I thank God for my mom because she brought me up telling me that, you know, and it shaped me. Even as I'm getting a boyfriend, that was very clear in my mind. Even my current husband can attest. And I met him when I was that. I told him nothing is happening here until there's a ring on this finger. Wow. So anyway, we just...
But he was a good boyfriend, it seems.
He was a very good boyfriend. He treated me very well. And he took care of me.
Wow.
I can say. And I didn't get lost. And then when we started, you know, I had not had feelings before, like love or missing someone.
So you really loved him?
You know, I used to laugh at my roommates when they get broken hearted. I'm like, you are crying over a boy. How can you cry over a boy? So until now, I started loving Moha. I started, and then it hadn't occurred to me that I would even think of a future with him. You know, I was very young because I think we started dating. I was 19. Now I have all these things of up to PhD. So nilikuwa najua hapana. Then I started getting very attached. I started fearing what if we break up? What if I started praying for God to save him, for him to turn him from. And then I remember I became a topic in campus. The girl mwenye anaenda na a Muslim.
And it had never occurred to you too.
So nilikuwa naenda CU kukipreachiwa, I'm fearing wasipreach mahali panasema, you know, what has light got to do with dark?
The thing that torments us.
I used to really fear, but my biggest fear was for me to get into premarital sex.
Yes.
Because that is what people were waiting to happen. So I used to pray. Unaona Psalms has very interesting prayers. Do you know there is a prayer David was praying for his enemies that let their loins shake continually.
So that was part of your prayer now?
That was part of, because me, I was telling God, please don't let this happen. I don't want to let go of Moha on one side. But something always told me, this is not God's will. But I wasn't, by then, I had not loved before. Finally, I have loved. You're telling me to leave him? Apana. So, nikaanza kufikiria, apana, God can turn this guy. But it was not to be. Actually, when after campus, it's like we just died a natural death.
Oh, so do you know where Moha is now?
I don't know.
I feel like we already like.
Do you know, it was serious. I wrote a book for him. Yes, a whole book.
Do you have the book?
Not here, but it's
how can we get Moha? Once you want an episode, at least you get your flowers.
Actually, most of my students in school, because they have read that book, they nicknamed me Moha.
Moha. Even though Moha, you have a family, you can just get the book because in a way,
I wrote a whole book for him.
Stereotypes at the time.
Yes.
Both of you never knew, but you're also breaking certain stereotypes. That when someone likes you or you like them, you can be from different worlds. So now, Moha, campus, you've left each other. So now you Tell us now your first days of working.
Hey, it was not easy. You know, when I was in campus, it's like I can see that my parents had shielded me somewhat. Like I have this uncle who was a big deal in Safaricom, who had told me he would give me a job. Immediately I left campus.
That was the story of many of us.
Yeah. And for me, it was like, I remember telling a friend of mine called Benta that Mimi niko na godfather. So I'm not even dropping CV anyway. I was very comfortable. Yeah. But then that never happened. Yeah, it never happened. And then I remember that my parents would send me pocket. Like I would really never run out of money.
Yeah.
Either I have help or I have money from my parents.
Also, at least you always had something.
I always had some money. Okay, I'm not extravagant. So I'm not those guys that walikuwa najaza rooms jina systems, what. But I was not exposed to lacking money. And then I was very detailed about my looks, my hair, back then. Now, nimetoka campus. And now a graduate of the University
of Nairobi.
We used to make fun of that though. We were very proud because there was a lecturer called Dr. I think Amani or something.
Yes.
Forget about this mushrooming universities.
It is true.
This is the mother and father of universities.
I did my master's there, so I know.
The University of Nairobi and others, you know. So when you are leaving campus, you're full of dreams and imaginations of what the world is waiting for me. But that was not to be. After campus, I went back home. And
you packed your things and
went back home. First of all, I joined my sister in Zimmerman.
Yes.
But that didn't last very long. I went back home. So when I went back home, all of a sudden, my parents are waking up, they're going to work. Everybody is going to work.
Yes.
And then I'm left there. And because I'm a firstborn daughter, nikusafisha, nikufanya nini. Then we had this well, tulikuwa tunaendea maji kwa well. Across, kwa shamba, across the road. You know. So I would go and wash clothes down there. You know. And for the first time, you see, I've not been in village most of my life.
Actually, most of your life now I can see.
Now I'm coming here as a graduate.
With your clothes.
I'm going to wash. And nasi zangu, actually my parents, mine, my brothers. I would spread beds for everyone. I would sweep the compound. I would do the dishes. I would cook.
Yes.
And when my parents finally come, they're exhausted. So I'm the one again serving them and all that. And I started feeling a desperation.
I know that phase.
And I remember thinking, wait, yani a whole graduate.
From
you know, from the University of Nairobi, you know, and because when you're in campus, you're full of dreams.
There's this dream that is sold to you.
And you're imagining that the world is waiting for you. As you know, waiting for you to go and change the world. Until it becomes, kumbe I'm going back to just normal life.
God,
So it was very hard. It was very hard for me to adjust myself to that. And then I told you my parents are teachers. Most of my relatives are teachers. So even though I had done Bachelor of Education, I had this imagination that I will not try.
Not teaching.
Not me. How?
I can never be a teacher.
I can never be a teacher. By the way, I used to get irritated when someone calls me a teacher.
Yeah.
I used to really get irritated.
Yes.
I remember I went to Rocho Girls it's in Moranga for my teaching practice.
Yeah.
Then during that weekend, I went to Thika Town. And I had earphones on. I was still young. I was 21.
Yeah.
So I had earphones. Then nimebuy popcorns. Nikaingia kwa mat ya Kandara. Then nakula popcorns. Nikidance to music. Then I had teacher. I continued teacher. The second time I'm like, wait. I turned only to see a student of mine. Nilitoka, I'm like, wait. Because the word teacher, for me, it carried too much responsibility. I'm not ready to be a role model.
Someone's teacher.
I'm still, I was 21. I was still very young. So nilikuwa nashindwa, what is this wait again? Teachers,
so there's somewhere you've skipped. What made you now? You're waking up, people are gone. What made you now decide to take teaching now to?
Actually, it didn't come immediately. Nilikaa wewe. At some point I shaved.
I think most women have shaved because you're like, it's even too much money to maintain.
In fact, the point was, because I would go ask for money, the money that would flow initially from my parents stopped.
You finished.
It's no longer a big deal. And then I thought, if I I blackmail them that I'm going to shave. And my dad told me, you look very good. You look very good. In fact, I was like, what? They don't even care. So I went and shaved. So it was hard. At some point, I started looking for teaching. Okay, I had applied for banking jobs. Sikuwa napata. Finally, nikaanza ku-apply teaching. So I thought hiyo itakuwa rahisi sana. But it was not so. But eventually, nikapata job ya sales kwa bank. It was so hard.
Hey, those sales jobs
are
not
my
easy.
God. You know, I couldn't believe it. Because me nilikuwa na admire bankers. They were ever clean.
They have money.
They have money. They look like they have a lot of money. They are ever smart. When you go to the banking hall, they look very exquisite. So mi sikuwa mambo ati ya kufunza hapo walimu nini. I didn't want such things. So when I went there and the banking job haikuja vile nilifikiria. Nikaanza kusafa wewe, would go for very long distances. Alafu tunakosa customer. I was selling loans. Then there were always these targets, that would have to meet every day. You have to sell at least a loan of 250,000. So in a week, that accumulates to 750. The pressure was so bad. So I worked for that. No, before the banking, I had a job teaching at a place called Gatondo. Na uko juu, Gatondo South.
So
it was a very bad experience.
Even that one?
It was the worst. Because I was this young girl, nimeshave.
Tiny?
I was very tiny. I remember my mom telling me, eka kakemiko, at least tukae a bit mature. Because I went there, the students were hugging me, na ndio nimefika. When they heard that this is a new teacher, they came. Wanaona tunatoshana. But now it was terrible because the boys, they were very disrespectful. Wanahuiso, imagine. Unajua nilikuwa nakaa rika yao. Actually, some of them were older than me. I remember that very well. So I resigned after 1.5 months.
You are like, I cannot do this.
I can't do this. But sasa after that, ndio nilipata sasa hiyo ya banking.
Okay.
Which again, I was there for like 9 months. Nikatoka. Nikahaso here and there. As a BOM teacher, unafunzanga until a TSC teacher arrives. So akifika tena unaenda.
And BOM is the board of management.
Yes.
Until now you get the TSC.
Until you get the TSC. And for TSC, they take after, the criteria they follow, how many years after graduation have you stayed outside?
To give priority.
60 marks out of 100. Someone who has stayed for 6 years, you get 60 marks. Then from there, they give now awards to degree. If it's 60 and you've stayed you had a first class, you already have 95 out of 100.
I get it. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then now the 5 marks is an oral interview.
So that's how you had to wait for a long...
7 years. 7.
Oh my God.
And there's a guy I met. He's called Dongo Shege. I met him right after I graduated. I was with him when I was doing my teaching practice at Rojo. Told me, don't worry, you'll get a job. Even me, it took 7 years. And in my heart, I'm like, okay, that was you.
That was you.
That can never be my story.
It came to pass.
It came to Because kwanza for maths and business, walikuwa wengi sana.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, you'd go for an interview, unapata kumeja hivi. So, and then for TSC interviews, they're very interesting. Because you can rank yourself before you enter there. Tunaangalia tu number of years na Max imepewa then.
God.
Yeah.
So you just know
so
what
unaona
is likely.
hapa already kuna mtu ako na 90. Alikuwa amekaa 6 years na alikuwa na second hapa. That's 60. Yeah, that's 60 plus that. Yeah. 90. Wewe una ada zako?
Yeah.
Unapata uko na 55. There is no way. There is
There's
no way.
No way. The system just rigs you out.
Yes.
Wow. So now you started teaching, but that will be another time, because I want you also to speak to parents with teenagers, because I know you've taught a long time, but we'll come back to that later. I was telling you when I was inviting you for this episode, I remember now the declaration you had made about the waiting season.
Yes.
Because now you've kept yourself, this was your mandate. You had told me and God and waiting for a man.
Yeah.
I remember the Facebook post was like something along the lines of, you are now telling God, I cannot stay single.
Yeah.
Talk us about now your waiting period. When did you even decide now you want to get married? Because now you are one firebrand.
Yeah.
You are the one person. Tell us, and at what age, what did you feel how do you feel I want to get married? And then now that waiting season, because so many women are there.
Yeah. Okay, so the 2016, it was on a Valentine, and it was on a Sunday. I was en route to Moranga from Thika, so I just wrote on my Facebook, as sure as God lives, this is the last Valentine's I'll be single. And it was true. It came to pass. And
how old were you then, 2016?
2016, I was what? 1986. That is
like 30.
30. Yeah, 30.
That's not even
I was
Why were you feeling like you were late?
I was very late, according
to
my God. Let me say, after Moha left, after we parted ways, in Barclays, I met a guy, very handsome. And he was a poet.
Oh, wow.
I write poetry, so
it was like very aligned.
He was handsome, he's a poet, very romantic. So I'm like, hey, this guy, this must be, there's a way he was approaching me here and there. And I started liking him. But I never knew what we had. Because by the time we met, I wanted to get married. And one of the things that was pressuring me, nilikuwa naingia Facebook, naona watu wana update wedding, second born, watu tulikuwa nao campus. And I'm like, wait, second born, wedding, and me, I don't even have anyone. But for me, I wanted to get married at before. In fact, even at 22, I think I was. By the time now we were completing campus, I think I had a different view, not the one I had come with in campus. Yeah. And then another thing that was pressurizing me was my sister. I'm a firstborn. My sister is secondborn. So for her, she got married at 21. And I came to get married 10 years later. Okay. A whole decade.
So now there's that, it's like an unwritten culture rule.
Yes.
The second born cannot.
Yeah. Even if no one is telling you. And then also, at least if you don't have a man, have money. I didn't have either.
No man, no money.
No money. I remember one time we went for a youth kesha. Tukatabiriwa sana, your husband is on the way. And then after the kesha, nikaenda home, nikalala. When I woke up, I saw a call from him. I was like, the prophecy has come to pass. Only for the guy to go and dump me. He dumped me. God, it was so hard.
So I think the prophecy was, this is now not the one.
He dumped me.
What?
On account that I could not sleep with him.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you knew now.
But I remember, but I must say, I was really tempted.
Yeah.
For the first time, I was like, hey, this one will go. Even this one will go. I lost
because
Moha.
You are with him in the... Oh, Moha is gone?
Moha is gone. Now this is like 3 years later, I've met another one. A potential, poet and handsome, and now he's threatening to leave just because, I was very tempted.
And that's why I want you to really encourage someone, because the season of waiting is very problematic. One, you have this faith for, especially for women, the kind of man you want, but also, and you have your values, and you don't even have to be saved, because I want us to respect that people would live. So how do you then know? Because for you, your faith was a big one, but what are some of the other things that, how can you encourage someone to be strong?
For me, waiting till marriage was not even about faith. I had made that decision as a young girl.
Oh.
Yes, as a very young girl. You know, my mom used to tell me, that stuck with me.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm not to do this.
Yeah.
You know, and then she used to tell me, if you wait, your husband will respect you.
Yeah.
You cannot just go, you know.
Yes.
So it stuck with me.
Yeah.
That was a decision, like, and that is what I told Matthew. I told him, you know, luckily, I cried. First, I cried a lot.
Oh my God.
I really cried. In fact, it was so unlike me, because I was the kind that I wouldn't beg for a man. But that day it broke me. I cried, and then I wiped my tears, and then I told him, luckily, you're not being introduced to me. You know my values from day one. I used to make it very clear.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember this guy I met called Lawrence. He told me, Wewe, you cannot get married to an ordinary man. Because when I told him I can't have sex before marriage, he told me, can we amend those rules? I will not sleep with you, but I can touch you everywhere. I told him, no. What are you saying? No. He's like, wewe basi, hizi olewa an ordinary man. Na nikamwambia, niliji-encourage. Nikamwambia, maybe I'm not looking for an ordinary man.
Oh.
Yeah, I told him that, you know. So Matthew is gone. That time, I really prayed to God. I told him, God, I've been foolish. Because that guy, the story was not straight. I kept having this, God wants me through dreams. I kept having these dreams. Nimeenda, then he has a t-shirt, kona skull hapa. Another dream, I saw him with an older woman and a child on his arm. Another dream, only for me to find out later that the guy was married.
So these dreams came true?
Yes, they came to pass. I've never dreamt a dream that didn't come to pass.
What are you saying?
Yes. Unajua alikuwa, he had a funny story. Anasema alipata mtoto alafu akachana na msia. But the thing is, you know, he was married.
He was married.
But he never told me that. Because he would come, disappear, and I would probe him. Define what this is. Who am I to you? And he would never commit to it.
So this time he's married?
He was married. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Whether he was separated or no, but he was not single. He was not single.
So I think it's something very important. Speak to the camera about values. Because you don't really have to, you know, for those people maybe who are trying to find God or don't even maybe understand faith. But there's something about values and conviction. Encourage someone, because this waiting period, I've had a lot of people making, because you want to feel wanted.
I know, right? You compromise.
So encourage someone, because I know that's a big thing.
Yeah. So I think what I can say, it's good that you define yourself very early, and you shouldn't conform to the world's view. For me, I've been called many names because of my principles. So Virgin Mary, Pretender, all the names that you can think about. But I think with time, I've seen what my uncompromising principles have gotten me. So I have no regrets. I have zero regrets about that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I always say women are blessed with something powerful called intuition. Maybe it's the voice of God. Maybe something that tells you, this man, no,
not this one.
Because even in my dating life, there was something that you would be like,
and most of the times we ignore that. Yeah.
I'm like, they tick all the boxes. But no,
because kama huyo mimi nilikuwa na feel apana. I was determined that this is my husband. I cannot lose another. But that day I cried and I told God, I've been very foolish. Please, from now. There is a prayer I had been fearing to pray, but I finally prayed it. I told God, scatter every man who is not my husband. Let the man that will come and approach me be my husband. Because it's like I don't know how to judge character.
Wow.
That is the prayer I prayed.
That now that Facebook posts, now you've made the Facebook.
I prayed that prayer, and then like nikaka ka period hapo kama 3-4 years. Oh my God, it was so dry. I remember one time
after the Facebook post.
No. The Facebook before the Facebook post. I remember one time sitting next to a guy, and he looked good. I was just next to him. I thought I looked beautiful, and he would not look my way. So I tried nudging him.
Like, can't you see me?
Can't you see what is right in front of, you know?
Yeah.
And I remember when I got to Thika, because we were in a mat, I remember feeling really desperate.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is so, thing. I was like, that is so unlike me. I would never think of doing that, you know? Then later on, I joined Winners Chapel. I started serving there. In that serving, again, we became friends with a guy who used to play piano. He was younger than me. So from day one, I told him never. I can never. A younger person?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. And then I started serving like crazily, you know. I would always be in church, either praying, or we are going for evangelism, or we are in choir, or we are in... So, unfortunately, that didn't augur well with my parents. Because they felt maybe I've joined a cult.
It's too much now.
It's too much. This guy is always in church. She's educated. By that time, I had started my master's.
Oh, okay.
Lakini sipati kazi.
Yeah. At the University of Nairobi still?
No. At Kenyatta University. So, sipati kazi, sipati bwana. Niko tu. Kazi yangu ni church.
I want to vindicate people who... I know a lot of families where people are going for missions. It is a good thing.
It's a very good thing.
A lot of... because they look broke.
And then I was always fasting.
Yeah, and then you look broke. Sometimes you don't look like... But there's something there.
Yeah, there's a lot. I was always fasting. I remember my parents getting really irritated. Then I took some courses, still in theology.
Yeah.
I took Bible school.
Oh.
Yeah, I did, there's BCC, there's LCC. Do you know they were so mad? They never even came for the graduation.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I was the one who was topping the class. Because on Ashana, is this girl crazy or what? At some point, my dad took me. And he had told me there is a lady, a nun, akona law firm from our place. Akanipeleka huko Thika. So while we were there, he introduced me. He said I'm his daughter. That he brought me up a Catholic, but then I changed, you know, and then he left abruptly. So I'm there staring at the nun, and I'm like, why are we having this conversation of Catholic? And I left Catholic a long time ago, only for the nun to give me a long history of Catholicism, how it has, kuna wenye wanavaa uniform, kuna wenye wanavaa kitambaa, but you can still follow a career. So the whole time I'm thinking, because sayo nimegraduate na sina kazi, my dad was trying to anipeleke kwa mtu mwenye anafanya kitu.
Yeah, so that you do something.
Yeah, so that it motivates me to do something. Only for her to tell me that my dad mentioned I'm interested in joining. Yeah. I was so mad. I was shook. I was so angry. Oh my God.
So now you seem to love this thing too much.
Too much?
You can be...
Yeah, you can be a nun as well, you know. And I remember going to my pastor, and then he really laughed. He was like, your father loves you.
Yeah.
Because ni kama unapenda kanisa sana. And there's no man in sight. And there's no man in sight. Yeah. Well, you know, maybe...
Because maybe even they're asking with each other, with your mother.
Yeah. And yes, it started being a concern for me, my singlehood. See, I told God to scatter every man.
Yeah.
Now this piano guy, he started showing me some interest.
The younger one now.
The younger one, who I had not even imagined. He was handsome and all, but I was like, you are young, no. But then I started feeling...
You are not imagining all of them until you...
Then I started feeling, maybe this is the guy, you know. Because, wait, you know, maybe I'm waiting for someone that is not, you know, maybe this is my blessing in disguise. I started even doing some research on women that have married younger men, you know. Then he would always be telling me, because I would tell him, hey, you don't feel embarrassed to walk with me, because we became very close friends. Actually, everyone around us thought we were dating. We were friends. We became very close. And then at the time, I was very lonely. Then this guy was very funny, and I love laughing. So it would always make me laugh. So I never looked at him romantically until later. When we started getting very close and no one is coming, I'm like, maybe this is him, you know. But when I look at the age, education, I'm like,
something is wrong.
And then I'm like, maybe that's why God took me to school. Maybe I'm to educate him. Maybe I started having all these plans in my head. Then something happened in between. I got a job suddenly, TSC job. A very interior place. It's called Getugi. From Oranga is an hour's drive. And I remember calling God. I'm like, wewe, unajua nataka kuolewa. Sasa ni wapi huku unanipeleka? Who will see me here? Who will see me here? And I had started making those two funny plans with Sammy in my head. Because it's like him, he was not there. But I was always sorting him out, you know, to small pesa here and there. And so I think...
Oh, because now you are the one with a job.
Yeah, I had... actually, I didn't have a job, but I was selling my book, my first book. So I was getting some... Him, he was employed, but I think that he had a lot of responsibilities. So mi nilikuwa namsaidia as a friend. But I started getting attached emotionally.
And now there's this job.
Sasa nimepata job na nita permanent, so there's no way I could turn it down. But I was like, God. Then another thought came, my husband is here. So I started looking around. No one. Because I remember telling my pastor, mi sijaona mtu ameokoka akiwa serious hapo. The only seriously born again guy is married. So my pastor told me, then you know you're not there to get married. I was like, now what is this? By that time I'm 28, by the way. So that post ilikujanga 2016.
Now I see that post, the journey.
Na in fact, I've forgotten something. Venye tu nimeingia huko Getugi, 2 months down the line, one day nilikuwa nauliza Mungu, who is this guy, Sammy? Wajua niliingia hivi Facebook, I came across, I was perusing the Bible, came across Jeremiah 33:3 that says, call unto me and I will answer, I will show you great and mighty things that thou knowest not. So I closed the Bible. I'd come across that verse before, but for some reason, I told God, wait, I'm asking myself a lot of questions about Sammy, and you know him. Show me who he is. Nikaingia Facebook. That time I wasn't very active on Facebook. Only for me to see him, you know, he has posted a girl there that we were in church together. Yeah, he was celebrating her birthday, calling her mi amor. I don't know what. I'm like, what? Oh my God, what is this?
What?
Yeah.
So now you knew Sammy is gone.
Sammy is gone. And then I'm like, actually, can I be honest? I was more embarrassed than hurt.
Oh, because
we were ever together like this. If you don't see Sammy, you can ask me where he is. I'll tell you. We were very close.
I see now.
So I'm like, wait, how did this happen? That like so they were playing me all along or what, you know? But nikajua hiyo imeisha. And later, after hiyo post ya 2016, I was on a motorbike. But before then, some years down the line, I had prayed a prayer about my marriage. And God had given me a scripture. Psalms 37 about not fretting. Don't fret, rest in God. I don't know, trust. And no, at that time, that is not the answer you are looking for. Yeah, you want God to tell you, there he is. He's there. And his name is, you know. Hata kama hata kuja immediately, but at least you are assured. But he told me to wait on him. I don't know, not to fret, not to be envious.
Yes.
And I remember it was not easy, that waiting period, because anything looks like it.
That's the thing.
Yes. Actually, one time, I was on a mat from Barclays. There's this guy he was a conductor. Yeah. There was this mat ilikuwa inakaa fancy.
Yes, we used to have those fancy mats.
Ilikuwa inatutoa Keno inatupeleka Thika. We had a branch at Keno, then we would go to report in Thika. Sasa alikuwa anatubeba kila siku. And he was very smart. So there's a way I was looking at him. Then there's a way he would greet me.
Oh my God.
Unajua hiyo time you're waiting, baby, it's easy.
Good you're giving this example.
It is not easy at
because
all.
I hear it from people I know, like,
you see a man in trousers, you start imagining what kind of kids can this one produce. You do the calculations. You have even booked a wedding date in your head.
Because you're so hypersensitive now.
You're hypersensitive, any man. And it's a very dangerous season, by the way. I have been there. In fact, there's this, I've just remembered, there was this guy, alikuwa anakuja church. Sinakwambia nilikuwa nashinda church. So alikuwa anakuja Wednesday service. And I was always there, I was in choir. Sasa alikuwa anakaa pale nyuma. He used to wear stripped shirts. Na nika notice, and you know, I made all sorts of arrangements in my mind about him, our wedding, our children. Nilikuwa nimemaliza hiyo story.
What are you saying?
Si nilikuwa namuona naona, he's a cool guy. The way he walks, you know, he's in charge.
Because, yes.
One day, I said, maybe I'm not the one. I'm the one not positioning myself correctly. Do you know, nilienda, and when I think about it now, I'm so embarrassed.
Yes.
I'm so embarrassed. Like, how could I stoop that low? But back then, it was a strategy for me. So nilienda nikaka next to him on one Wednesday service. I noticed he didn't have a notebook and pen, so I wrote the notes for him. Proverbs 31 woman. And then at the end of the
so now, for him to take home.
Yeah. Because it doesn't have, you know, I have to prove that I'm a suitable helpmeet. So I plucked the paper, nikampatia. Then later, and I then go, by the way, I've always been an open book. That has helped me a lot. So I wrote to my pastor. Nikamwambia, you know, there's this guy. Because sasa niona nakaribia 30, nilikuwa naambia my pastor, namwambia I'm getting worried. I'm getting worried. Imagine nakaribia 30 and there's no one. No one is showing interest. It was bad. At least azilo unachokoza, you know. You know.
So now you tell pastor.
No, I was just there. No one is even showing interest. Like, God really scattered. In fact, be very careful about the prayers you pray.
ask.
So, anyway, nikaambia pastor. Nikaambia, you know, there's this guy Navanga, hivi. He always sits there. Niliambia he's married. Oh, so bad. I cried. I mean, do you know the kind of skyscrapers are built in my mind?
Those striped shirts someone has been ironing already.
And mind you, this guy didn't even know. I didn't know his name. I just identified him. Na nikaona that is a good husband
a
for
lot
me.
Of wisdom
That's a good husband for me. Very nice, very cool. Oh my God, I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed. Luckily, you know, sikuwa nimemake any physical. Isipokuwa tu hiyo. And he must have thought how crazy of a woman I was. Who was that? Why did she do that?
But so anyway, now this 2016, the Valentine,
the Valentine, I can say it was like a call of desperation. And even like almost a dare to God. You know, we've been taught about faith. And you know, God is so, you know, precise about his name. God can do anything to defend his name. So it's like I used the name of God, like a backup. Because I said, as surely as God lives, this is the last Valentine's I'm spending single. Then months later, I was on a motorbike. Getogi was hakukuwa na magari. So to connect, sometimes I had to go to a place called Mabere, which would connect with the motorbike. So I was on that motorbike because I had been praying God whether to move from Winners Thika to Winners Moranga. And I just had a voice telling me it's time. I wasn't thinking anything. So when I got to Mabere, in the vehicle, I was like, it's time for what, you know? And you know, for a long time, I never used to recognize the voice of God. Nilikuwa tunafikia na ama ni my thoughts ama ni. But with the time, I think walking with the Holy Spirit, you learn to recognize the voice of God. So just had its time. Then 2 days later, I met with my husband. My spiritual father, Bishop David Odepo, had come to the country. And then his friend went for him. Akamwambia, mzee, anaita bishop mzee. Mzee is in the country. We have to go and listen to him. Then mimi nikaenda na rafiki yangu pia. It was a ministers conference, so we were not even supposed to be there. So I sat just in front of him. So according to him, yeye alikuwa there anaenda kuomba, anaambiwa, this is your wife. Yeah. You know, I hear those stories, I'm like, zinakaa fallacies, zinakaa like...
feels weird.
No. For him, it was very clear. In fact, I used to use that against him when we had disagreements. Because I'm like, you said God told you I'm your wife. This is how you treat your wife. So, he said that, alikuwa nasikia hivi, anafunga macho. Anasema, no, I came here to pray. I will not be distracted. You know? But, you know, he kept repeating, this is your wife. Yeah. And he told me that it was very specific. Because, like, you know, we were two. Me and my friend. Yeah. And so even when he told me that later, in my heart, I was like, hey, I hope I was wifely. Like, because I remember being very, very emotional. Hey, man, you know, I was all out. So I would wish that my husband would meet me as this demure looking lady-like, you know. Yeah. But that is how it happened.
Wow.
Then he took, so that was in the morning. Your minister's conference in the morning. There was another session in the evening. So after the morning session, si tukaenda na marafiki yangu. In fact, we went to Isili.
Yes.
On our way back, tulikuwa tumeacha Bible zetu na notebooks huko mbele. Na sasa usiku kulikuwa kumejaa hivi. So we were running. Vile tulishukishwa hapo Airtel. We were running towards the church. Iko Mombasa Road.
To go pick your notebooks.
To go pick our notebooks, or at least ensure they are safe. Then we come across a vehicle. Ikasimama kwa highway. Then my husband comes out. He's like, hi ladies. We are going the same direction you are going. Hey, me, I'm like, between me and my friend, I was the outspoken one. So I was very afraid because this is Nairobi. This can even be kidnappers. You know, we don't know them. But akatuambia, no, I assure you, we are going to Winners Chapel. Na mulikuwa mmeka mbele yetu. Tukaingia hesitantly. In fact, I remember we squeezed ourselves in the back seat. The way unaondoanga sasa ukae poa. Vile niliona gari imeingia Winners Chapel, nikasema, thank you Jesus. On our way, he was like, hey, we are engineers. Hey, I'm Stanley. This is so and so. Then he asked us for our numbers. Kachukua numbers. Me, my friend and I, tulikuwa tumezoea kwenda evangelism. Watu wanatuitisha numbers. So tulikuwa tunaambia, kupeana number si issue. You don't have to pick that call. So that's, nilipeana a number with that attitude. I don't have to pick the call. Only for him to call. The following day, he called. My phone has never been busy. Ever, since forever. It has never been busy. So, all of a sudden, ikaanza kupigwa on a daily basis.
Wow.
Sky talks, hey, I'm thinking about you. Sijui what.
But so, this time, for some reason, you're not
actually
excited.
Unajua sasa, unaona venye nimemeet under the circumstances we've met. Because hata sijamuona vizuri. And ni usiku. In fact, my prayer was just tuingie tu Winners. Wasikuwe ni wakora. So the minute tulifika hivi, me, I was done. Only for him to call the following day. This is the so and so who picked you up. Blah, blah, blah. Then, mi nilikuwa najua it's a passing. I didn't know it's someone I would take seriously. We met now physically 2 weeks later. And I remember thinking, oh my God, okay, what if he's ugly? Like, you know, I'm not taking a good look at him, you know. We met at night, you know, and I never even, because I had no interest, so hata sikumwangalia twice. Well, when he said engineer, I was a bit impressed, but I was like, what if, were we safe even?
Yeah.
That was my thought then.
Yes.
But vile alipersist kupiga.
So you meet him now.
Now when I met him, I remember telling God, I hope he's handsome. I hope I like him. To commit in Nairobi. Only for him to go and tell me that I'm his wife. And I remember writing in my diary.
Oh, he said that first date?
First date? Who does that? You know. And he told me, I'm going to marry you.
Oh.
I'm not trying you out. You are my wife. I'm going to marry you.
What?
Yeah. First date. And I remember writing in my journal, hey, the guts. Actually, I laughed him off. When he said that, I said, I like your confidence. Nilimwambia hivi.
Yeah.
And then in my journal, nikaandika, hey, I want to get married, but not at this rate. You know? Because that is too bold. Who does that?
Yeah.
You know? And he hadn't asked me a lot about myself before telling me that.
Yes.
Yeah. I was like,
oh my
your
God.
speed, iko juu sana.
Yeah.
Then he told me all about himself.
On that date?
On that date. Do you know the date ended at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
And we had met kitu 1.
Yeah.
He told me a lot. He was 37.
Yeah.
Which was, for me, even that one was a question mark. Because I was like, wait, 37? Hey, it was a red flag. Because nilikuwa najiambia, he must have. Na akaniambia, but he explained.
Yeah.
Akaniambia he was in campus.
Yes.
He deferred, thinking he would defer for 1 year, only for him to stay 6 years outside. Venye alirudi, tena akakaa sana kabla graduate. So in that the funny thing was, when I was serving here in Thika, he was also serving in Eldoret. Same, you know, what are the circumstances that umesoma, huna job. Kazi yako ni kuserve kwa kanisa. People really ridicule that. They ridicule a lot. Because unakanga ni kama umepagawa.
You're not okay.
Even your parents, because he told me one time, the father, walipatana na babake kama ametoka market.
Yeah.
Amenunua vitu alikuwa ametumwa na pastor.
Yeah.
So the father was like, wewe, you are crazy. You are going crazy. You know? Yeah, people don't understand. That bit about sijui serving, unakanga unatumiwa vibaya.
Yes.
So imagine from there, it was like history.
Wow.
Because we got married just a year after that.
Wow.
Yeah. Just a year after that.
And now you met the person who was willing to wait, who was...
You know, it's like, yeah, he was willing to wait. And it's like both of our families. Me, my sister. Kwanza my sister ndio alikuwa naambiana story yake. He's an engineer. He's 37. I'm like, wait. I'm the one who met the man. They were too excited to give me away. Like, nilikuwa nasema, what if he's a bad guy?
They're like, where?
They're tired. 31, you're still there.
What?
Kazi ni kanisa. They're just tired. You know? So, I remember my brother saying, do you know that guy? Ati anaitwa nani? Kaambia Stanley. That is a very important person in this house. My mom started saying, hiyo bedroom yangu sasa imekuwa guest room.
Yeah.
Long before.
Because now...
we had not dated for long by that time. Then 3 months into meeting, that first date, tukaenda kwa Eldoret. He tried saying, this is my fiancé. Ndio huyu bibi ya Shina. They call him Shina there.
So they decided?
They just, kumchumbia ati. He tried saying fiancé what? They could not listen to that. Because hata yeye, alikuwa, you know, that long wait.
So you were in the same circumstance?
We were in the same circumstance. And we didn't know. And then for him, at least for me by then, nilikuwa nimepata ka job.
Yeah.
So at least nilikuwa na kakala kidogo.
Yeah.
Him, he didn't have a job, mind you.
He told me
that the first time we met. He told me I don't have some baggage somewhere ati sijui mtoto mahali ama bibi. Because he was once engaged. Then the lady went to Uganda. Unajua huyu hana job. The lady akapata job ya sijui NGO, a very big NGO.
So she left.
It died a natural death.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now look at you, married.
Imagine.
With kids.
Imagine.
I want us to end us here, but that was so powerful. And I feel that because even for you, I feel the mistakes are not even costly. For some women, it's a child out of wedlock.
Yeah.
For others, it's being conned by a man who just wanted you for your money because you're working. For others, it's even death.
Yeah.
We see it in the news.
Yeah.
You trusted someone with your life, told you he would, because that season of waiting is so delicate.
Yes, it is.
You meet someone, they kill you out of, you know, so many strange stories are happening. And I think what you're trying to say is that it will work out. If that's the passion God has put to you to get married, it will work out. So I want us to end there. So people can come to part 2. Don't miss out. This is the woman experience. Please like, share, subscribe, because we're only just beginning. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.